So this is day 2, and I'm trying to get my app launched as fast as possible because I'm going to be meeting up my friends for a hike in less than an hour, about an hour-ish or something like that. I got to leave here in an hour, and what I wanted to go ahead and do is show you real quick what I'm working on. I'm basically building an app using the Nano Banana image generator, and that's actually from Google. It's the way that you can actually do is just take a photo, and it's going to basically take some elements from that and kind of do some really cool flair and stuff like that. So I got this really cool design style kind of figured out. And I want to deploy this app so I can actually show them on their phone. I want to give them a URL so they can go ahead and use it and take it themselves. And I want to get their raw feedback. And so from that feedback, I need to have this deployed online. So GitMax is here. Definitely, this is a live stream. And so you're going to just be on this whole thing live. And we're just going to get ready to send it here. So let me just double check that all my other audio settings and everything are working pretty good before we proceed. And we're solid right now. Okay, folks. So this is probably going to be a speed run. And the goal and the stack that I'm using is basically Convex. And I'm using Clerk for the authentication. If you want to see day 1, you can kind of see me walk through how I get that stuff set up. I forked this repo from the guy, his name is Ross Mike, and he actually works at Convex, and he made this really great repo. But we just changed the system prompt to insert our own style, and that's what we're going to use here. And like right now, I'm just trying to get this concept out there, get some reactions, and get as much feedback as possible so that we can iterate and ship on this. So right now, I'm able to basically log in. I can sign out if I wanted to. And so when I go here, the reason why I want to like have this available and deploy it online is so that I can get that feedback. And now I'll be able to lock down the login. So with Clerk, if I just go to the Clerk dashboard, I should be able to go in here and then kind of lock down the Clerk. So they go dashboard, I think clerk.com. Oh, actually go back. I should be able to go back to the dashboard up here. And then from here, the app I called it is Ray Cooks. And I think there should be a configuration for users. Okay, I go to overview and I go to configure, and in configure, I'm just going to change the view here. So as far as people who can sign up, I can go to restrictions. I could say restricted. And so that way that only people that are allowed to sign in, or I can make it public and I could just say enable an allow list. And so with an allow list, this is actually a premium feature. And right now, I'm just going to test the app in development and just have my friends sign in to the development environment. And so we're going to deploy this on Vercel. So this should be available on Vercel. And so that way, people who sign in, it'll say, hey, you are allowed to sign in or you aren't allowed to sign in. And I'll basically kind of gatekeep it like that. Since this is a prototype, I'm just trying to get feedback, trying to get people's reactions and stuff. And that way I don't have like these random people just signing into my app and so forth. So I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. This is a premium feature. So when I do enable it on production, I have to pay for this. But this is something that I plan to not, like by the time we have that rolled out to get paying customers, that's kind of what we'll be doing there. So I'll enable that allow list. And I'll leave this blank for now. I'll figure out what their emails are or whatever they sign in with. But when I'm on the hike, I'll basically be able to do that. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. With Clerk, it's already done. And then here, basically, I want to show you the app. Yeah, so this is the app here. Now it's going to say sign in to get started. And then when we sign in to get started, it's going to ask me for like my 5 million Gmail accounts. And so this is what we do here. And I'm going to just kind of blur this so it like has all my Gmail accounts here from all these different things. And then I go ahead and continue. And then from there, we should be able to get it all signed in. Great, cool. So now we've restricted access. And the reason I'm doing this is so that it doesn't hit the API. And so only people who have access can actually hit my API. Because right now it basically has infinite credits, if you know what I mean. I do think that Google is allowing the free tiers right now that all weekend access to the Nano Banana, just hitting it as much as you want for free. So this is how we're going to go ahead and do that there. So that'd be really cool. So now we have this thing figured out. We got to get this deployed. So I'm going to try to figure out to read the documentation here and walk us through that. So let's see. If I go to convex.dev, how to deploy to Vercel. And so I just want to read through the documentation because I think it does walk us through for deploying to Vercel because it's a very specific thing. So there's this build command that we have to run, npx convex deploy --cmd this, and we have to override it for Vercel. And then link our project to Vercel. And then we set up the convex deploy key variable. So this is the production key that they have. Dang, fancy with production. And then deploy your site. Okay. So how it works, Vercel, we override the build command and npx deploy, we read, okay, cool. So your front end choice will be npm run build, convex URL. Okay, so let's just follow these steps step by step, because I feel like this is probably the best way to learn about this and kind of do this. There's custom domains and hosting. We don't have to worry too much about that. Preview deployments. So preview deployments will allow your team to test background changes before pushing them to production. I don't think we necessarily need this yet because we're just trying to get this thing running in our dev environment. So I think the first thing that I'm just going to go ahead and do is just go to vercel.com and then just see what's up. Yeah. All right, cool. So I'm going to say add new project. What does it say up here? 4 projects using Node 18. Okay, that's cool. I'm going to deploy a new project, and I think it's currently just called drip me out. So I'm going to import this one. Right, let's go ahead and see that. All right, so it's telling me about this, and this is where we have to override the build command. So I think the build command that we're going to override is this one. And from here, we have to do build command will be npx convex run build. Okay, let's go ahead and copy this and then paste this into here. So npx deploy command this. Okay. And then I think we should have some environment variables in here. So the environment variables that we have, I think it's going to be our deploy key, but I'm not entirely sure, right? Because it's telling us set up the convex deploy key variable. So I don't yet have a deploy key, and this is specifically for project production. So on your Convex dashboard, go to your project settings and generate deploy key. Then click Vercel environments and create an environment named Convex deploy. Okay, cool. So I guess we'll do that. I just want to run the dev environment. So I think environment variables, let me just go ahead and just copy my current environment variables from my Convex environment. And this is in my .local.env. So if I go into here, I have a .env local file here, and I'm just going to move my head. Whoops. I'm just going to make sure, my bad. I have all of my different windows set up. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is go back here and then move this guy here. So in here, I have a .env local file, and I'm just going to copy those parameters and put that into my app and see what's going to go on here. So big shout outs to my friends who are currently online, everyone who's kind of watching, Bruno as well. So I'm going to basically kind of do some blurs again. And so that way I don't expose any keys. And let's go ahead and do that. So I have a lot of things. Okay, I have a clerk front-end URL. I have a clerk secret key. Actually, let me unblur it. So these are all the variables that I currently have inside my env.local file. I wasn't sure if I had cloaking enabled. So convex deployment key is actually already in here. We have the convex URL. We have these parameters, and we also have this. So I think this is everything that we need to put into our Vercel instance for the first time to get a successful deploy. So I'm just going to go ahead and just copy this whole thing. Command A. I'm going to uncloak it just so I make sure I copy all the right values. Okay, cool. Awesome. And then I think once I do that, turn off cloaking, I'm going to go back to our app here. And then in the environment variables section, in here, basically what I'm going to go ahead and do is just, I select the first key and I'm just going to paste it in, and pasting in all of my variables. And good thing I had the cloaking enabled, because this actually exposes all my key information here. And so I'm just going to remove that. All right, cool. So we have all of our keys in here. And I think once this is done, I'm going to minimize this. And basically I'm just going to hit deploy. So all of my environment variables are now in here, and I should just be able to hit deploy, and we should just be able to cook. So we'll see. It'd be interesting to see what's going on. So while this is deploying, it says your setup is crazy, bro. Yeah, my setup is kind of crazy. You mean as far as what I got going on in the environment? I keep doing this. So yeah, I'm basically currently in Hawaii, and as you can see, I have a couple cameras. I have the camera here. I got the microphone. I mean, this is really serious stuff. And then I don't know if you know this, but I got the new keyboard, and this is from Work Smarter. This is the knob keyboard, and this keyboard is straight drip. All kinds of drip. So our aura for this build is just massive aura, if you know what I mean. So that's going to be what we're working with here. And let me just see if I can kind of get this going. All right. So did we get an error? We did get an error. So it's like, hey, I can't get the this unauthorized or something, missing access token. So this is the key that we have to get. So I do have to get a deploy key. This is kind of why it's basically missing. So it's currently 8:43, and I have to meet my friends at, well, okay, It takes about 30 minutes to get there, and I got to meet him at 10 o'clock in the parking lot for a hike. It's currently 8:43, so I got like 30 minutes. So I'm going to make sure I nail down this key right now, because if I don't have this key, if I don't have the app, I can't show them. So it's going to be a waste of time. So I get to meet 2 people in real life and actually show them the app and get their first impressions. And then if I'm on the hike and this is working, I want to get more people on the hike wherever I'm at and just show me like, hey, check this out. I want to get your feedback. I'm building this app. And so this is like getting from 0 to day 1, immediate feedback, and try to iterate on this loop. You see how I just like basically yesterday branched the software, put these features in, get the basic authentication with Clerk. That's in one day, super quick, right? I'm not even worried about payments right now. I'm just worried about using the app and just giving it to people and just saying go. And this is not even on an iOS app. We're just saving a bunch of time. So yeah, let's go. The next thing that we need to do now is basically, I think in Convex itself, we have to go and grab in settings, there's like a deployment key. So there's a URL and deployment key. So show development credentials. So I'm going to go ahead and just blur the screen out just to make sure I don't expose anything too crazy, but here are the deploy keys. So down below it says generate deploy keys. And so in here, this little button, I know you can't really see it because it currently has security mode. I just don't want to expose too much. We have this generate deploy key here. So if I hit plus, it's going to say, hey, do you want to create a deploy key name? And then it's going to say, yes, Vercel demo. Okay, save. Okay, cool. So now the key is generated. I'm going to go ahead and copy that key. And then I'm going to try to see if I can actually go back to the documentation here. So in Vercel's documentation, they actually say convex_deploy key is what we need in our environment variables. And so I'm going to go back into Vercel, and I'm going to go say to go to inspect deployment. I'm going to go to the project, I guess. And in the project, it's going to be exactly where we take a look at this type of thing. So it looks like it's already created a new project. And let's go ahead and see if I can go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go to project here. And then if I go to, okay, so this is our failed deployment. We should go to like settings, I think. And then there is a thing called environment variables here. I'm going to just give you some more space so you can read this. Environment variables. And in our environment variables, I'm going to blur it out real quick just to make sure I don't show anything. Okay, cool. So in our environment variables, they are listed here. And I'm just going to go ahead and add a key. So to add a key, I'm just going to type in the value of the key that I just pasted from Vercel, or sorry, from Convex. And then the key that they wanted me to grab is called, this specific one is called convex_deploy key. So now that I've copied this variable, I'm going to go back into Vercel. I'm going to blur it out a little bit, paste it. And so now I have the key in here, and I'm going to hit save. And then now that the key is in here, it's asking me for a redeploy. So I'm just going to go ahead. Yes, let's go ahead and do that. And this should be able to deploy this to production. So now we should basically be able to get a Fire app, and let's go ahead and view the deployment. So I think it's supposed to be like this fast, if you know what I mean, like to be able to get our deployment up. That's kind of what I'm talking about. So I was really scared that this was going to take a lot longer, to be honest. I wasn't really sure. I was like, okay, I got a quick moment. I just texted my friend back and said, yo, I'll be there at 10. So now it's actually building the build, and let's take a look at the build logs. Okay, so it's basically doing our build right now. It has the right environment stuff. It's talking to Convex. And then once we're built, then I should be able to, okay, what do we have? Oh, all these errors. No. Okay, so missing dependencies. I think we're going to be okay. Got it. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I think we're going to have a good build. I didn't even run the local build. I was just like YOLO. I'm just trying to get this up as fast as possible. This setup makes me jealous. Man, yeah, I think we should definitely like work on our live stream setups. Also, more people have to live stream as well. Also, if you're in here, you all know what to do. Everyone knows what to do. Whenever you smash I have to do the little dances. So yeah, that's what's up. Also, if you haven't had a chance to, you should be able to lock in on the Discord. Right now it's just $14.99. It's going to double at 200 members. And right now we're like around 160 or so. So yeah, once we reach that new threshold of the 200, it's going to double after that. So get in while you can. The link is pinned in the actual live stream thing. And definitely check it out for sure. It supports the channel in essence. And so, yeah, I also have a video that's coming out about GPT-5. So I'm going to drop that after the hike. That way we can cook together. Also, let me know if it's getting blurry too much. My camera does autofocus if I'm not looking at it. And I just want to make sure it doesn't really mess up your guys' eyes. Okay, so are we done? Yes, I think we're done. Okay, let's go and take a look. I think we're live, fam. Let's go. Oh, we are live. Look at now I have a Vercel app. Hold on, let me go to this website on my phone. Okay, so I should be able to load this up on my phone real quick. Let's see. I'm just gonna load it from my phone. Paste. Okay, it's the moment of truth, fam. Let's see. We have the app. Okay, cool. So as of now, we actually have it locally on my like actual Vercel site. And so I'm gonna just make sure this thing doesn't really move too much. Okay, so we have this available, and I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can sign in. I'm gonna tap the sign in button on my phone because it's got to work on my phone. If it doesn't work on my phone, and then it's even telling me about like my Convex dev instance. So dude, this is crazy. The fact that we're able to get this thing running so fast is just kind of insane. So I'm gonna select my different accounts. I'm gonna sign in. Yo, we're about to cook. Cooking. Yo, check this out. Hey, this is awesome. So you can even see the other AI generated images. So it's asking me to allow access to the camera. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And so it says camera is off, and it's giving me the camera settings. So this is the actual app. And then you could even see the other images that I have. This is crazy. Oh, wow. This is cool. Yeah. Can you believe we have the app? All right. So now the moment of truth to actually take the camera. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just go to the camera settings. And then you can select the different camera. So you can select the front camera or the back camera. Wow. I didn't realize you can select all these different camera settings. There's like a telephoto camera. That's pretty interesting. All right. So I'm just going to do the front camera and start it. You can see yourself, by the way. So that's really cool. Let me show you this. So I don't know if you can know, like you can actually see. This is really cool. All right, so I'm going to take a photo, capture photo. Look at the capture. All right. So it looks like it started the generation, and so we should be able to see the generation pop up over here. So now that here it is. It's coming in. What? That's cool. This is really cool. It's actually working. Holy smokes. And check this out. I'm going to send a link, and this is going to be another test. There's a copy link function. If I copy and share that link, I should be able to basically text this to my friends, and then you guys can check it out too. So that'd be really cool. So let's go ahead and see if I can check this out here, because this is really amazing how we're able to get this. So I'm going to see if I can push this over into the next thing. And then because this is the share feature. Oh, it does work. Oh my God, this is so crazy. Okay. So let me put this link in the chat real quick. And dang. So you should be able to hit this like long ass link and you'll actually see the image that I took, which is so wild, right? And theoretically, you can already log in and start creating your own images and stuff. And I'm gonna block you from getting in if you do get up in here. But I think another thing would be interesting to test to see, like, since I remember I enabled that blocking feature. Let me know if you can create an account or if you can't, right? If you can create an account right now, like, you know what? I should just open it up for everyone. Who cares? Like, spend my money. I think, okay, please don't go crazy, by the way. I think if you're watching this, you're one of the few select people who are just so hardcore, and I want you to actually play with the app. So I'm going to go ahead and disable the allow list. I'm just going to allow everyone to do this. So I'm going to go ahead in my Ray Cooks, in my actual development thing, I just disabled the allow list. So now people should be able to go and like sign up for the app. So I just want to blur people out just in case other people have signed up. So yeah, Matt Wright, looks like you just got in here. If you were trying to sign in, just go ahead and refresh again. You should now have access to the app. But just go ahead and just use the app. If you've been able to click that link in the description, you should be able to click this link here, and then you should start using the app. It's really kind of wild that this actually already works already. And so I was expecting this to not take 20 minutes. It was actually a lot faster than I thought. This is kind of why I like to deploy with the similar stack all the time. I think this is, it's been a while since I've done this deployment step, but it was like way easier for me. I am Don says it works for me. Cool. Yeah. Let me refresh this and see how many more folks have joined in. Yo, I am Don. We got apps, some other guy who signed in with apps. Yeah, we're getting some users. Dude, this is crazy. So I got 1, 2, 3 other users. So yeah, let me know. Take some photos. And then I think what's interesting is right now, because it's under the development, the photos are all going to show up publicly. So any photo you take, by the way, it's going to show. So please don't post anything inappropriate, by the way. And it's going to be, it's currently live. So I think it's really cool. This is so cool. I love, let me unblur this and let me actually get out of this view. So that way we can kind of go over the overview. So I'm going to go to configure. Okay. So once I get out of this view, and then I'm going to go back to this other camera that I have here. So I don't know. I really like this style, and you could even share it on X, like if you wanted to share. So if I hit share on X, now it's going to actually post like the actual, so I need to update that text, but right now I just have a prototype, and the prototype right now is good enough for me to just go take to my friends, go hiking and say, hey, can you try out this app? This is really, really cool. So I'm actually going to do this. I'm like, can you, I'm going to text this to my friend because I feel like, this is kind of where I'm going to go like meet him up for the hike. I was like, hey, yo, can you try that? Yo, can you try my app? And then I'm basically just sending him a link. So my friend's name is Kalai. Oh, look at that. It even shows up in the preview. I one-shotted that. In AI built that one shot, bro. That's so crazy. This is insane. This is so cool. So I'm going to send this out. So yeah, it says like, yo, can you try? So like, this has got the hallmarks for virality. I feel like, someone did an image. Oh, for real? Let's see. I haven't even checked it out yet. Let's see. What do we do here? Oh, wow. Oh, that's sick, man. Whoa. Yo, that's really cool, man. I think it's really fun to see everyone's styles of stuff. Like, I think you're like literally holding up a plant. This feels unreal. And you can actually see his fingers and stuff are currently like holding the plant there. That is really cool. Oh man, added it to my home screen. You could. This is really fun. I mean, we built this app like, I don't know, just like literally a prompt. But I think it's going to be really important for us to really kind of keep experimenting. So if you haven't had a chance to try it out, I think what we can do right now is I want to, let's see, RFER. I want to basically see if I can make a shortened URL so I can just kind of, so you can try it out right now. So I think it's going to be dub.sh. And I want to see if I can grab this actual link here. So the link that I'm going to be sharing, so sign in to get started. I think I'm already signed in, right? Oh, I got to sign in on my desktop. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And then that way I don't kind of blow up people's stuff there. So yeah, this is like a live stream special, by the way. Like we're literally kind of sort of playing around with this live and launching the app live. It's so insane. Okay, so I'm going to go say don't allow for now. Okay, so in my app, I'm going to go into here and hopefully another thing is like, hopefully I don't blow up my hosting providers thing. So let's load up the images. Okay, don't allow. Is this, okay. I don't know what's going on with my app. Oh, I might have a bug actually. I think the bug for me, oh, here we go. Cool. Yo, this is crazy. Yeah, this is awesome. Man, look at that. Oh, it even has a little smiley face and everything. I love this. I really like this technology. Let me grab I think right now my camera's trying to autofocus to the background. And so it's like losing my focus of me and because it's too bright. So, yeah. Wow, that's really cool. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Look at the clarity. Like it's kind of unreal, to be honest. And like even had the black and white thing in the background. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to copy the share link and I'm going to make a shortened URL. Let's see. Cooks. Viral, image. Viral image. Viral. Cooking. Cooked one. All right, cool. So if you want to go ahead and like check this out. So let's see, I'm gonna copy this up here. Whoops. Go back. And I'm gonna copy this right here. And so I have a URL shortener and I love URL shorteners because they're so cool. And so what would be really interesting for me would be to like see, like maybe I'll have an API that will go to a URL shortener like this. And that way I can track it. So dub.sh is a really cool, like URL shortening system. I pay for them, but it's mostly like kind of for marketing things. But if you want to check that out, just https rfer.me/cooked1, and it's basically going to take you to like this image. And then from here, actually it won't take you to this image. If I hit copy share link, now we should be able to go to the app. And so you'll basically be able to see it here, and it'll say create your own type of thing. And so obviously it's full of bugs right now, but yeah, if my account blows up, I'll probably like disable signups. and like we still have to implement some other things. But this is like my keyboard that I just got. It's doing really funny stuff with our different images, and they're different every time. So the more the images that you upload. So man, that's also really cool. Let's kind of go back. Let's just see how many other people have signed up now. So users, man, we got a lot of signups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Dang, there's nine of you that signed up. That's amazing. That's holy smart. Wow. Yeah. Big shout out to everyone who's been able to sign up. Yeah. Take an image. Let me know if it crashes or whatever is happening. Yeah, that's why. So, is it still shifting focus, by the way? I wasn't sure. If it is, then I'm going to try to do something where I can change it so it just locks in the focus of my eyes. I'm just really curious. Yeah, because that's kind of annoying if it keeps doing that. It's probably because of the background, but I want to make sure it doesn't do that in the future. So yeah, let me know. Let's go ahead and go to configure, and then I'm just going to take off the blurs and then kind of go back to my screen here. So, okay. So yeah, I think we're basically done so far. As of now, what we've done so far is like what I'm doing is I've generated this like app. The idea is that you can take a photo and do some really cool whimsical design. And so this design style is just a style that I was inspired by from Matt Wolf. And I have shown you in the first video. We basically go through the setup of like, how I get this idea, how I forked the repo, and then how I got the prompt in there, and then how I even generated the prompt using Opus. So in these types of apps, and for AI apps going forward, prompting is going to be the key to actually getting the output that you want. So like while everyone can use AI to generate the code and different user interfaces, your prompt is going to be the gold thing. So as you can tell, people have different objects and different images that they're uploading, and this design style is going to be consistently applied to all of them, right? So this is the magic of prompting and AI, right? So you're combining two random elements to try to get some consistency, but it's like random consistency, which is kind of fun, which is the whole point of art anyways, right? And so, yeah, rock with me as we do this. This is going to be really crazy. Like this is only this is technically day 2. Please excuse the noise in the background. This is only day 2, by the way. And, we're going to continue building this out. So I'm going to get some feedback from my friends. I'm going to go on a hike here in Hawaii. And then I want to get their feedback. I want to show other people too. It's like, hey, I made this app. What do you think? Or can I take a picture of you too? I'm just going to go up to people on the street. And then I'm going to try to see if I can do some recording content with my cameras. So I'll bring them around and try to see if I can record this for the vlog, which would be really cool. So definitely like stay subscribed and like lock in with me, because this is about to be really, really fun. And I'm trying to do this live so that way everyone can kind of follow along with me. I don't know where this is going to go, right? The promise here is that like, I'm going to show up for you live, and I'm going to basically build as I go, and you're going to see this whole process. This is going to be transparent. I've never done marketing before. I'm like totally new to the front end, back end web development. And so you're going to learn my stack, learn why I chose these types of things. And this is just how we're going to cook, fam. It's just going to be really, really cool. And if you're a part of the Discord, definitely, like y'all have been in on this for a little while. And as far as like, generating ideas and rolling with me. And if you don't know, I used to be an engineer at Apple for 12 years before basically being let go for dealing with long COVID. And now I'm basically here. I'm using AI to try to like build these apps and build these micro apps. One, I'm trying to learn how to prompt a lot better. 2, it's like whatever I'm learning along the way, I'm sharing it back with you live. So by going live, I'm forcing myself to teach, which helps me strengthen my learning capabilities. And those who get to benefit are the people like you who show up and ask the questions and participate. So the live stream and everyone kind of rolling together really helps us like build a community. And I feel like there's other people who are building, but maybe you're too shy to turn on the camera, and that's okay. But like, I try to post a lot of really good stuff. And so yeah, I post here, I post live, and I think YouTube is probably the best way to watch this live stream, because after every stream, I go back into the description and I add timestamps, and all of this is powered by Ray Transcribes, another micro app that I made. And so I try to make these apps and ship them to production and, add payments and stuff like that, because that's going to be our next step. So day 3 or 4, depending on the feedback, is to add payments to this and start to ask people like, hey, would you pay for this? Because it's one thing to kind of show and get the reaction and improve these little features. But now the next step after that would be like getting people to pay. And, would they pay $5 to generate like 100 images or something like that? I don't know what the actual math behind this is. But right now, if you're able to test this out in the next day or two, you get access to basically being using this app. So yeah, Ben Thomas says, we are locked in, bro. We are locked in. I don't know if you know, in my Discord, I have a actual tier called 3 comma clubs. So if you are so locked in where you generate 1 billion tokens, if you run Claude Code, you can run bunx CC usage. That's BUNX space CC USAGE. bunx CC usage. It's going to actually show you what your usage is for the month. If you don't use bun, you can use MPX, CC usage, and that'll also show you for that month. So yeah, there's some people who are super locked in. Your friends will not just like it, they will love it. I hope so. I think it's really cool. I can tell usually when my friends are trying to gaslight me. So they'll be like, yeah, that's great. It's like, okay, that's not great. They're just saying it to just kind of get out of my hair. Okay. I made me holding an iPod. Dude, this is, yeah, Bruno. Oh, so you were the one with the cool image there. So yeah. Being able to use from your camera roll would be really nice. Yeah. So that's going to be the next feature I add in, is where like we can do the camera roll. I think the first part is because I forked it. I just want to like MVP this. And also there's something really cool about, I don't know, like Polaroids, like that was the thing. I used to study film and I love film, like film everything. And I even like developed in black and white film to learn how this works. It's a typical engineering trait, right? You're really curious to do stuff. But with Polaroids, like there's something about taking a picture and like waiting for it to develop here, right? So like when you're waiting for it, people are like used to like shake it and do all kinds of funny things, but it just takes its time. It's the chemicals in that are actually going onto the film that are like being, the light's already exposed and you're just waiting for the chemicals to expose things. And so people, I don't know if they waited for like a minute or a couple minutes for the actual Polaroid to develop, but it was just that moment of time at that party. And it made it really fun. And so there is some elements to this where like you're taking a picture, you're kind of waiting. So it has that Polaroid effect. But for people, like their attention span, if they wait more than 4 seconds, they flick to the next video. People who watch my live streams don't have that attention span problem, which is what I really appreciate. The watch hours on these live streams are really amazing. People are really locked in and are building with me, which I always appreciate that. But basically, going back to the Polaroid thing is that fact that like there's some element of surprise. And I think I'm kind of trying to, by accident, bringing that in. And so a lot of the best apps are apps that you've lived through your experience or things that you've actually studied yourself. And things that you're actually doing in real life that you're having fun and interacting. I like to be a very creative individual. I have lots of ideas for this app, by the way. This is just the first version. I've never launched a viral app, but this is I'm going to do it. Like, I don't care what you say. I don't care what you think. I don't care if you like it or hate it. I'm going to do it. So I'm not going to I'm going to explore different avenues for doing this. And I think just being myself is going to make it the easiest way to go viral, right? Like, I'm really cool. I'm going to meet people. I'm going to just talk to them. I think literally just publishing content online, publishing like short form videos, publishing long form videos, anything that I do talking about this to show people. Like if people I show in person are really inspired and they're like, wow, that's really cool. I want to use it. That's a really big signal. So I'm going to keep pulling on these types of threads. And those are the things I want to search for. I kind of want it to be organic by nature, right? I don't want to have to like dump a bunch of money in to tell people about it. I want people to like share it, because one person sharing to 10 people is going to give me more impact than me like spamming 10 people and they're just not even caring, right? If I spam 1,000 people, maybe 1 to 10 people will convert, versus the other way around if it's so good that it's going to be, shareable and so forth. So yeah, I think this is a really interesting moment. And we can only really do this because Google has released this new image model called Nano Banana is the code name, I guess. The actual formal name is Google Gemini Nano Flash 2.5. I don't know. I don't know who makes up these names or something like that. Like I can't even remember the names. That's how bad it is. So yeah, that's what's up. A proud member of the 3 Comma Club. Yeah, that's right. Dude, I can't believe this guy cooks, man. He's so locked in. So I have an active subscription for Max 20 and I'm wondering what to choose, Cursor Ultra or GPT Pro. Oh, that's rough. Yeah. Yeah, because here's the thing. If you have Cursor Ultra, you get GPT usage, and GPT is already like relatively inexpensive compared to Claude Sonnet. But Cursor Ultra gets you a lot of those models kind of baked in, which is really, really cool, right? So if you have a subscription to Claude, like if you need some Opus credits, you would, I don't know. It's a really tough one right now. It is, yeah. I would just try one every month, to be honest. Say Cursor Ultra this month, the max 200 subscription, you're going to go back down to like $20 a month. That way you can still use some Opus without it complaining. Because I don't use Opus all the time. I use Opus for planning a lot. So that's super duper helpful. And then you can just delegate the rest of the work to the other models like GPT-5. So anything can give you a lot of GPT-5 access. Codex is pretty good, but the UX in Cursor is just really amazing. Plus, there's a lot of free model drops on Cursor right now. So like as new models come up and they're free, you can get access to them, which is really interesting. So yeah, having a sub, even $20 a month, gets you quite a bit in Cursor. So yeah, that's what's up. Let me ask some more questions before I head out. So yeah. You can mix and match with Cursor Ultra. Yeah. Claude, use Claude Max Pro sub. That's all. Yeah. Whatever for me right now, Claude, the Claude code stuff keeps like failing quite a bit. All right, folks, I got to head out because now I have the app and we're going to take this app and we're going to show it to our friends and I'm going to get the reactions. And if you have any reactions, just drop them in the comments below. What do you want to see as far as like any features? It'd be really cool. You are some of the most loyal people because you've been following me. This is literally our second day. And I was extremely impressed how fast I was able to get this deployed on Vercel and Convex with Clerk. And yeah, if you watched my video yesterday, like all the authentication setup towards the very end was just like super duper quick. And so yeah, at the end of this video, we'll have timestamps and markers. I'm going to go lock in and get ready and I'll get you the feedback tonight. And then tomorrow I'll have another live stream kind of covering some of that. I'm going to be recording some blog content. So make sure you subscribe. I have a video dropping tomorrow that's about GPT-5 and it just kind of goes over the cookbook. So this is the first part of the cookbook and how we generated some prompts and a little bit of how I used to make an app, basically measuring protein, by taking a picture of like a label and it actually shows you like, this whole thing about protein and how much protein you can actually digest, because there was a shocking fact that like whatever is on that label for protein is not actually what your body can digest. And there's various qualities of protein and you have to do this actual math with the food label to figure this out. So this is a perfect use case for AI. And, I want to be a healthier person. This is just my journey going through life. And there's going to be some app that's going to be viral. I don't know which one it is, but you're going to be locked in and find out. So you're going to be the first to find out. You're going to be the first to tell your friends, and you're on this amazing journey with me.